Today I collaborated with Dr. Fashion and we will be showing you how to make these paper flowers using our Cricut, okay? And to check out Brittany's version of the video, click the link down in the description. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey now, it's your girl ChonitaNicole and welcome to Do Dream On if you're new, and if you're already a dreamer, welcome back y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back y'all. Welcome back. Yes, this is what we're going to be making y'all, these shadow boxes. Yes, paper flowers and shadow boxes. What's really neat about my flowers are these are my flowers. I have the PNG and the SVG on my Etsy. Do Dream On is the shop. So if you want to make these specific dreamy roses, then you can check out my Etsy. The link will be down in the description. All right, y'all. So I'm about to go ahead and show you how I made these cute little flowers. They are just so cute, and turned it into this shadow box. So okay, so once you're inside of Cricut Design Space, we're going to go ahead and upload the image. We clicked Browse, and then we're going to go to our desktop, and we're going to go ahead and scroll down to Dreamy Rose Flower SVG. Okay, we're going to upload that image into our Cricut Design Space, and then it's already a cut image. So we're going to keep it a cut image. We're going to click it, and then we're going to go ahead and add it to our canvas. Okay, now once you actually have the flower template inside of your Cricut Design Space, we are going to resize it because I am printing out today on an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and it cannot print with this 9 inches here. So we are going to resize it. So the width is going to be 7.889 and the height 7.383. Okay, so we're going to go to Make It. And then I do have the Cricut Maker. This is going to be the basic cut. We're leaving it right here. We're going to press Continue. Now we're going to set our base material as the light cardstock, 65 pounds. And let's get to cutting. How to twirl my specific flowers. I have never cut and twirled anybody else's flowers ever, so I don't know how theirs do. And excuse the glue on my hands because I've been practicing. But I'm specifically going to show you how to twirl mine. I literally don't know if it's the exact same way as anyone else's because I haven't done anyone else's. Okay, so like I said, excuse the glue on my hands. I've been practicing. So this is the quilling tool. The one that I'm using says Quill Creations, the Savvy Slotted Tool. I got it from Hobby Lobby, but I'll leave some links of this one if it's not available. Other ones that's similar. I'm not sure if you could see, but there is a slot, literally like a cut in between there. Then this is like, you could spin it around because of how you're going to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And like I said, this is for mine specifically. They're available on Etsy. Do Dream On is the shop. Okay. So you take it, you hold this in your hand, and then you twirl it with this, and then you guide it with your fingers. Now, remember, I haven't done anyone else's. I don't know how anyone else's goes. This is how I do mine. All right. And then I'm going to show you the trick at the end. So it's twirling. So you see, this is starting to look like a little rose. Then you twirl and you twirl and you twirl. So now you're coming to the end. So this is where you want to make sure you're doing these right. This part is going to be the bottom of the flower. It's going to hold it together. But what you do is you pull the quilling tool directly out. You see how it's like twirled up? And then you have to be careful with this part. You let it unroll a little. See that? Now it looks more like a rose because it's not as tight, right? And you can let it unroll more if you want, however much you want. But here's the part that you want to be aware of. Once you unroll it, you're going to have to glue the bottom part. I personally pull that back a little bit without breaking it. And then I'm going to put glue. I just got the Dollar Tree tacky glue. This is found everywhere. America's favorite craft glue. You can use this. You can use art glitter. You can use your glue gun. Your glue gun is up to you. Because I know I'm doing so many of it and it's been working, I'm going to use this tacky glue, okay? Because you're going to be using up a lot of glue making these flowers. So what I do is I want to, see those swirls? I want to glue them together. So I put the glue on the bottom. And then what I do is I make sure that the flower, the outside of my flower is how I want it. And then this part that I bend it that way, I'm gonna press all the flowers kind of down. And then I'm going to make sure it's tight. Press it down. Okay, and that becomes the base of the flower. Then I can play with it before the glue dries to make sure that the flower comes out like how I want. But you keep it down so that it can glue, so it can stick to this part. You want everything to stick to this part. Then we're going to be putting it down in the actual shadow box. But see, now the flower is done and it's nice and pretty and it opened up a little bit. All right. Then each flower will look a little bit different, just like in real life. You see, each flower is different. But I want you to know this is how the bottom will look of my specific SVG. I give a PNG and an SVG. So at the bottom of mine, this is how it will look. If you like the way this look, then you could go ahead and get mine. Tool, you're going to slide it. And you don't want it all at the edge because it could slip off. So you want to have it over, once you put it on, over just a little bit. Okay, if you can see that. And then you grab the tool, and people use pencils, all types of stuff, wood, anything you have. But this is what I have. People use tweezers. I have this. I'm going to show you if like it slides out. You may have to unroll it and start over again because it may slide out from there. So I'm literally just going to show you again. You're using these two fingers, as I said earlier, to roll. You're holding it with this, and then this turns. Okay? So you're turning it with these two fingers, and you're keeping this together with these two fingers. Once it comes to the end, you can help it by kind of turning it over. And it's all tight, right? It's all tight. Once you pull it out, I let it unravel a little bit, like that. So it unravels. And then I personally bend it back. You don't have to, but I bend it back because I don't want it in the way. And then I try to make all of these, you know, look nice or get together so that I can make sure I'm gluing it all together. And it unravels. It's not perfect. Each of them is not going to be the same. That's perfectly okay. You get your glue, whichever glue you like. Now, when it's wet, you can still manipulate it. So I want it a little bigger. So I'm going to let it unroll a little bit because I want a little bigger. And you could press it down with your fingers to dry, or you could use your mat to let it dry, to press it down. And some people, they do different things with their flowers. I like mine like this. You could bend them, you could play with them, however you want to do it. Like I said, once it's wet, you can still manipulate it. So it could, if you want it to be open a little more, close them. You do whatever you want with them while it's still wet. So now there you go. You have your flower. Get that up. And there you go. So that's how you do them. Get this shadow box together. So I'm just taking it apart so I can start measuring it. So what I did was I just guesstimated it may take 1, 2, 3, 4. That it may take 5. That was my guess. So 5 this way, 5 this way. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That was my guess. Now we can do a mathematical way to try to figure it out as well. Okay, so we are going to measure our box. So although it says 9 by 9, it's really 8.5. And the inside is 8.5. Okay? So it's 8.5. And then our flower, if we were to measure our flower, it's like 2. Now each one is different and it depends on the way that you, so it's like, we're just gonna say 2 inches, okay? So 2 inches. And we could go ahead and see how many we're gonna need to fill this up. Okay, so the mathematical way that you would do this is you would measure the square from left to right and up and down. And this square is 8.5 inches, both left to right as well as up and down, okay? The flowers are approximately 2 inches each. So you would divide 8.5 by 2. That equals 4.25. So that's saying that you need 4.25 flowers from left to right as well as up and down. So we're just going to round it up to 5. So that's the mathematical way. Now, if it wasn't a square, if it was a rectangle, then you would measure it accordingly. You would just measure it accordingly. Whatever that length or width is, you would divide it by the inches of the flower. I hope that made sense, okay? So let me know if that made sense for you guys. Okay, so that's how I figured out each row needed 5. Honestly, I didn't mean to do this like ombre-ish color, but this just so happened to be the pack that I had, and it looks really good. Okay, so now that I have everything that way, I'm gonna start placing them on my actual board that I'm gonna glue them on, just to make sure that it fits. And honestly, I probably was supposed to do this first. So if I was you, I would do this step first. So I wouldn't even do that putting it inside of the frame. Here. I would do this step first to make sure that they all fit. Okay, so I measured correctly. Everything works out. Now I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to just pick it up, put a little dot, and put it down. Right? And I'm literally gonna just do that for all of them. Oops. It fits perfect. It's so cute. I literally did not even mean for it to be like this either. So now I use the 8.5 by 11 page. So for each color you want, for the size that I use that I showed you, you would need 1 page for each of them. Because I know people are going to say, well, how many pages? So 25 pages for this particular one. 1 flower for each page. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we did it. A couple tips. Make sure that this thing is straight so you can make sure you're lining them up correctly. Try to make sure all the flowers are the same size. As you can see, this is my first time doing it. I do have different size flowers. So just try to make sure that you line this up so you can line them up correctly, and make sure you try to make the flowers the same size. Redo them if you can, but it still looks cute. So now we're gonna put some vinyl on here. And then see, these a little bit kind of tall, so it's gonna get a little smashed in there, but they so cute. So I'm gonna put probably Do Dream On, because I think I'm gonna keep this one for myself. So I think I'm gonna put Do Dream On here, and I may hang it up on my wall, but oh, I have to put it back the right way together. But once we put that on, it's gonna be really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the writing and then cut it out. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and write Do Dream On or Queen Dreamer. I'm not sure which one. Maybe I do. I'll figure out what I'm gonna write. But because the shadow box is 9 by 9, I am going to do 9 by 9. Okay, just so that I can see it, and I could put it at 75% so I can see. So this is going to be the shadow box. We're going to just make it white for right now, and then we're going to get the font that I want. What font? I don't know. Maybe I'll put Queen Dreamer, or if I want to do okay, so I found the font SignPainter, I believe. And so now I don't know which one or both, or how I'm going to go ahead and arrange it on here. So that's the next thing, to figure out how I'm going to arrange it, or which ones I'm going to actually use. So I decided to put Queen Dreamer, Do Dream on there. Or if I get it on there and I just want one of them, we'll see how it looks. But I'm going to print both of them out. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just hide it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and hide that square, that template that I created. That was 9 by 9. I was using it as like a template for my glass. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that so that I can cut out the Queen Dreamer and Do Dream On. And then I'm going to go ahead and make it. And remember, when you're cutting out permanent vinyl, you are not going to mirror it. You're going to keep it regular. And I'm going to go ahead and press continue. And then I'm going to use vinyl. And we're ready. But I'm going to do the gold. And then I have my transfer tape. Y'all know my favorite one is from the Dollar Tree. And excuse it's a little beat up, but I love this one. So we're going to go ahead, load it in the Cricut Maker. And get to cutting. Now my Cricut Maker is cutting the vinyl. I'm also cleaning off the glass with alcohol. And I am now cutting everything out, and I'm weeding it. So yeah, this is how I'm getting my vinyl together. This Oracle is really good vinyl too. Okay, so now I cleaned it off alcohol. I have it where I want to have it. I'm going to really fast forward this because I shouldn't have done it this way. I'm going to show you the correct way that I should have done it in a second. Perfect. Perfect. It could have went down actually a little bit more, but that's fine. It could have went down somewhere, like right there. Okay, but that's good. Maybe I'll just leave that. Let's see. So now I have this all together, and I'm going to put just a couple of little strings. So now we're going to flip it over. And we actually could have put the vinyl on once this was in there, so I could definitely see where it's supposed to go. But it's my first time doing it, so it's okay. But I could have had it like this and then put the vinyl on. You know what I mean? I could have had it like this and then put the vinyl on. You can't really see the Do Dream on, but it's pretty. It's still pretty. Maybe I should have used the white, but it's still pretty. So if we want to use the Queen's Dreamer, put the Queen's Dreamer on there. I probably should have used white instead of gold, but it's okay. It's all a learning experience. Then I could have did it this way so I could see it. See, like that. But yeah, you can't. It's pretty though. Probably should have did white. Just so you know, I'm gonna do another. Well, wait, can you see it? I think I'm gonna do another one and do white. So I'm gonna do that one. I have another glass and I'm gonna put the white on there. See which one looks better. Yes, now that looks so good with the white. Yes, we did it. Super duper cute. I love it. It's so pretty. And I didn't even mean to do like the ombre thing. I literally didn't. That's just the only ones I had. But I love it. So pretty. Yay. I was scared to pull the flower, like bend my flowers back. But look at the difference when you bend them. On the left, it's not bent, and on the right, it's bent. So bend your flowers when you do yours. It looks so cute. Look how full it looks. I even opened up my shadow box and bent some of these flowers back, and it looks a lot fuller. I love it. So make sure you we did it. I loved making these. I do have a couple quick tips before I end. So the first quick tip is I want to make sure that if you were to get these flowers, you guys know how I showed you earlier how they are, so you can be satisfied with your purchase if you go to my Etsy shop, Do Dream On. But what I want to give a couple tips are, try to make them the same size. That will be really good because it can fit in perfect. Also, when you're putting it on a shadow box, try to make sure they're aligned with each other. Take your time, give yourself grace. It may take you a couple times if you've never done it before to get it right, because it is something, the more you do, the better you get. So take your time. Just in case you were wondering, it did take me 2 hours just to do the flower portion, to roll those flowers. But besides that, that's a wrap. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, holla at your girl. Please make sure you join our Facebook group, Queen Dreamer. We love it over there. Like I said, you could get these dreamy roses on Etsy. Do Dream On is the shop. But yeah. Follow me on Instagram. Do Dream On is the handle. TikTok. Do Dream On is the handle. Follow my ChonitaNicole blogging page. And don't forget to head over to Dr. Fashion's channel. You can click the video on the screen. And I love y'all. Did y'all know that? I think y'all knew that. Anywho, y'all be safe out there. You hear? Bye. Thank you for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.